Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dieter Weiss of in4ma and Eric Miskel of EMSNOW. We are reporting here live at the booth of EMS Scout at Electronica in Munich. Today we welcome our special guest, Olle Hulteberg, who is the founder and shareholder of Inission.
Thank you very much.
In Sweden,
Yes.
and in Finland and in Norway and in Estonia and in Tunisia as well.
Yeah, recently we got engaged in a power supply company called Enedo.
Okay.
And today we have acquired 96% of the shares. So
Yes.
they are becoming a daughter company, 100% owned. And they have a manufacturing site in Tunisia and an R&D office in Italy.
Okay.
So this fits very good into our strategy of expanding in Europe.
Well, and Olle, that is exactly the subject for today, because if we look at your development over the last years, you have been constantly buying one company after the other. Yeah?
Well, approximately for the last 15 years, we have bought one company per year annually.
Yes.
And we think that is a comfortable pace, considering that we pay the purchase with our own money, making profit, so we can buy it with our own money. And also we have to integrate the company into our structure. And we even have an onboarding process, which we call to initiify the company. And it's not very dramatic, it's more like incremental, but still you have to become friends, you have to share values, you have to do business together, and of course gain some synergies, of course.
Yes.
And your strategy then, which I find interesting, we had met during our tour here 2 weeks ago, is that you don't grow mega factories. You like kind of that smaller footprint in areas spread out, and they're serving local kind of customer base. Is that right?
That is right, yes. We always look at the complementary customer portfolio. So we can grow the customer portfolio because as contract manufacturer, the asset, the value of the company is really the customer portfolio.
Yes.
And buying something that has the same customers, that wouldn't be very much of growth.
Right, exactly.
And I think with one exception, which we saw last year, when we went together, EMSNOW and in4ma on tour in Estonia, we visited not only Olle's PCBA factory, but we visited as well his sheet metal fabrication, which to me was very, very impressive. How did that fit into your strategy? Was that always your aim? Were you looking at competitors, especially from Sweden, who are stronger as well on the metal sheet fabrication side?
Well, to grow horizontally by more offerings, I think that is in the genes of a contract manufacturer, as our core business today is manufacturing. Mm-hmm. That's where our revenue comes. To add on sheet metal, as this factory is very good. But we are also complemented with consultant services. As you referred to, you visited us 2 weeks
Yes.
ago. We talked about the development part of it, to help our customers with development and also aftermarket services. So we are adding more services and also adding offerings like sheet metal. So I think it fits good into our strategy. You could challenge me more with the power supplies of the Enedo side.
Yes.
Yeah. And that will be a totally different business area. It will be a complementary. And we see cross-selling and we see a lot of synergies between and power supplies and there is also a parameter of having your own products. There is some charming parameters associated with that. And also when it comes to competence that we are really looking forward to investigating. Mm-hmm. It's still a little bit premature to investigate that, as Enedo is a turnaround case. It has been underperforming for many years, and now we are improving it. And the last Q3 report that we released last week, Thursday, shows that Enedo is now getting back on track, I should
Okay.
say.
And you, if I remember correctly, when you started in the EMS business, your very first facility, you came in as consultants to turn around a business, right?
Correct,
So,
yes.
So that's actually you and your partner's kind of DNA is to take kind of maybe underperforming assets and getting them going again. Is that kind of, do you see that throughout some of the companies you've acquired? Is that what you look for?
Yeah, well, our preference is to buy something who is performing well. But to be honest, prices have gone up. And they have become very expensive the last 2-3 years. A lot of private equities there bidding, and we are not competing with them. And then we ran across this turnaround case, and as you say, we feel comfortable with turnaround cases. Even though you could see on our share price, our shareholders did not appreciate getting engaged in that. But it's a marathon. We are doing a marathon, and long term, when we will prove the synergies and the potential of having those two business areas, I think that will be very good. Very
And
good.
like you said, you're buying it. You're not doing the private equity route where those guys are wanting to kind of drive the business in the short term. You're thinking more longer term.
More long term, yes. So in that sense, we are really building shareholder value, I think. And if you look long term on our share price, the shareholders who have been with us have done a good deal. Well, at least the day when they are planning to sell.
Yeah. So your main investments so far were in Scandinavia and Estonia. Are you thinking more global or fully European as well?
Yes, that was launched in our annual report last year. So
Okay.
in the springtime, it was launched that we are now addressing Europe. And I think we have a very thorough belief in being close to our customers. Adding these service content is easier when you are close to your customer. So we have intentionally spread out. And as you say, we are now covering Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark would be fantastic to be present in, but we are now addressing Europe as well.
Yeah.
And in that aspect, Tunisia comes in well. I think Tunisia is geographically and politically not part of Europe, but financially and legal-wise, it is very, very familiar, common to Europe. And today they are doing substantial business with France as its history of the French colony, and Italy they are also doing business with. And that is due to the geography, I would guess.
Yeah.
I would guess.
Do you see that as a rising, if you think of low-cost regions, it was always Eastern Europe. Now is that becoming more the low cost for Europe, Tunisia, where they can get the workers because the unemployment rate is so high?
Well, we are not addressing low cost. We are trying to make factories which are adopted more to serial production, mature products, more production focused. Our factories close to our customers are more focused on flexibility and services and on that part. But once a product gets mature, you can transfer it to a more production-oriented site, and then there can be some benefits from that. Cost side, maybe, but that's not the big advantage that I would like to address. Then, we are not competing with price. Cost is very important for our customers, very important, efficiency and such parameters, but that should not be the core competitive edge in our business discussions.
Now, looking at your strategy, to us, it means as well that you must be very confident in general about this market and its growth rates. So how do you see this year and next year being developing in the EMS industry?
Well, we see the mega trends all coming together, which suits us extremely nice. And we have seen this the last 1.5-2 years. And now you can even see it in these management reports of the industry analyzations, your reports, for example,
Yeah.
that the growth rate that historically has been on like 4 or 5% are now up on double digits.
Oh,
That's,
yes.
that
This
is their
year, definitely.
expectations.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I see, as I say, I refer to the mega trends, the electronification, the sustainability issues, near sourcing, you want to have control over your supply chain. So a lot of these mega trends are all coming together, and most of, all Inission factories are fully loaded at this time. And our order book is almost full 2023. So we have, and I think the growth will continue. There might be a recession now, or maybe not a recession, a setting in the industry. And hopefully it will only be flat for a while, but then it will continue to grow. I'm pretty confident in that.
Do you see any specific market sectors that you think will perform better in the future than others? Or the other question around it, are you focusing or not focusing on a certain market segments?
No, the sustainability issues and the electrification and the Internet of Things.
Yes.
And the fortunate thing is this addresses all industries.
Yeah.
All industries. So, yeah, that pretty much answers the question, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Olle, for the update. We think and we hope that this is going to be an exciting exhibition for you over here. And for our audience, we tell you, stay tuned.